Welcome to Talking Science. Professor Phil Bland from Curtin Uni is here to discuss Binar-1. Phil, thanks for your time.
Pleasure. Lovely to be here.
This is Trekzone's Talkin' Science.
And don't forget Trekzone membership available via the join button under each video on YouTube or via the trek.zone/support. Plus, Trekzone's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, your favourite podcast feed. Find us, like, follow and subscribe. Phil, let's start at the beginning. What is Binar-1?
So Binar-1, it's a small satellite that we've built at Curtin. The things that make it special are that we've pretty much built it from scratch. So really not very few off-the-shelf parts. And the team got everything on a single circuit board. So makes it very easy, or much more easy, for us to churn more of them out. And we flew our first spacecraft, just a couple of months ago. So it's currently in orbit.
It is very, very exciting. Well, it was launched into space by SpaceX and released into orbit from the space station. Was that a cheaper way of getting into orbit for the CubeSat?
It's fairly common one that stuff goes up to the space station and then it gets blipped out. What was really, really special for us was that, I think that's it. It was that picture that the JAXA, so the Japanese Space Agency, linked us in to their mission control. So we got to see it as it was being deployed. And their astronaut on the space station said some really kind words about, he did it. He sent it off for us. It was just lovely. So they made it a lovely experience.
Now, the CubeSat, as you say, was coded and built from scratch down there at Curtin Uni. Where does one start in designing a satellite?
So it is a bit of a learning curve, actually. And we, the team did have quite a bit of experience designing other hardened systems like observatories that we built and put out in the bush. And then really kind of trawling through all of the literature and everything we could find online to get a sense of what best practice looked like. And then the kind of creativity of our engineers. The thing that made it really useful was that we've got our own testing setup. So we could really churn through prototypes and kind of test them to destruction. Okay, this one doesn't work, let's build another one. And that meant, that was great. So really good learning experience for the team.
Now, the WA state government is on board with a $500,000 grant. Does that give the future of the project surety that it'll reach its future objectives?
It's been really useful. So what the state government has done, half of that is for an outreach campaign. So it's basically bringing the excitement of space and the program to the people of WA. And that's been wonderful. So that's let us do quite a lot of the outreach that we've done. It's also going to let us, we're setting up a program with high schools so that high school students can put hardware on the spacecraft. And then the other half, 250, lets us hire a couple of engineers for a couple of years so that gives it, it kind of preserves the program enough so that it sort of de-risks it a little bit. We need to get some decent funding from federal government or somewhere else. It's been a little bit hard to come by, so we're still trying.
Well, the Binar mission, I alluded to future objectives. It'll hopefully be taken to the moon at some point in a future part. What's the hope with that there?
Yeah, so a big thing that we bring really in our center is we're mostly planetary scientists, and we've got relationships with NASA going back many, many years, and a lot of our team have been on science missions for NASA missions. So we can bring that kind of capability, that kind of, those relationships to Australia. We can really leverage quite a lot of other goodies without actually, having to find funding for them. So one of the things that we did for this, the concept that we have for Binar, it's called Binar Prospector. NASA really, really liked the concept. It would do kind of a geophysical survey mission at the moon with very low flying cubesats over the lunar surface, and they loved it. And so they said, kind of informally, but I'll certainly try and hold them to it, that they'd give us a free ride, which would be very, very nice indeed.
Well, as I understand it, Binar-1 is all Curtin Uni's talking about at the moment, a huge milestone. And I think I'm actually pronouncing the name wrong. I say Binar because I'm influenced by Star Trek, the race of aliens from Star Trek. But of course, it does have a First Nations significance.
It does. It does. It's Binar, and I also pronounced it wrong, and I still do for a lot of the time. So no problems there. It's Binar, and it means fireball in Noongar. So the Noongar people of the region where we live, the Southwest Council gave us permission to use the name, and it's got. It's lovely that we can kind of represent that sort of. Local heritage from where we come from, and it's also where we come from in the projects. We've had a project for a long time called the Desert Fireball Network, so it references that as well. So that's where Binar comes from.
It is very, very cool. Well, Phil, what's it like to lead the Space Science and Technology Centre over there at Curtin Uni? All these exciting things going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It's it's you end up spending quite a lot of time chasing cash and dealing with administration or bureaucracy or whatever. But I'm trying to make a lot more time for just the gorgeous, inspirational stuff that is happening all around me, and that's just fantastic. It's so exciting, and to see that spacecraft fly and then get deployed was just, for me, it was such a wonderful, it was very emotional. I loved it. And that really got me. That was a huge boost. It's really great to work in this place where I do.
Well, Professor Phil Bland, thank you very much for a little bit of your time, and thanks for beaming into Talking Science today.
Great pleasure. Thank you.